Stop for a moment. Do not scroll. Do not treat this like another video playing in the background while your mind is somewhere else. This message is not here by accident, and these next few minutes may speak to the exact pressure, fear, and silent battle you have been carrying. Something is shifting. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it yet. But stay with me because there is a reason this word found you today, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And before you dismiss that as emotion or chance, listen carefully. Sometimes the biggest change in a person's life does not begin with noise. It begins with a warning, a deep check in the spirit, a moment that says, pause, pay attention, do not miss this. What is coming will not look small when it arrives. It will not be ordinary. It will not be something you can explain away with luck, timing, or human effort. But there is something connected to it that many people overlook. And that is why you need to hear every word. Because a blessing can be near while a person is still unprepared to receive it. A door can stand open while distracted eyes walk right past it. So lean in. Stay to the end. This may be the moment that helps you see what heaven has already started moving in your direction. Beloved, what I am saying to you now did not begin in a casual moment. It did not start as a nice thought or a polished message prepared for effect. It was born in prayer, in deep surrender, in those hidden hours when everything is quiet and the heart is open before God. And when the Spirit speaks with urgency, you do not play with that. You do not water it down. You do not smooth the edges so it sounds more comfortable. You speak it as it comes because lives are at stake, because people are tired, because many are standing in a moment that could change everything and they do not even know it. There are times in life when God brings a word, not just to inspire you, but to wake you up. This is one of those times. These days carry weight. These moments are not empty. Heaven is not careless with timing, and what looks normal in the natural world can be deeply important in the spirit. Some of you have been waiting so long that your heart has learned to expect delay. Some of you have gone through disappointment so many times that when hope comes near, you pull back to protect yourself from pain. But listen to me closely. This is not the hour to shut down. This is not the hour to become numb. This is the hour to pay attention, to listen with your spirit, and to refuse to let weariness talk you out of what God may be placing right in front of you. There is a powerful financial turnaround moving, and I do not mean a small improvement that makes life slightly easier. I mean something so clear, so strong, so far beyond your own ability to arrange that when it shows up, your first honest response will be this: only God could have done this, not your connections, not your talent alone, not clever planning, not chance. God. But here is the part people do not want to hear, and yet it is the very part that matters most. Attached to the breakthrough is an instruction. Attached to the provision is a warning. And many people get excited about the promise while ignoring the very thing that prepares them to walk into it. They love the idea of the miracle, but they rush past the voice that tells them how to stand, what to release, what to stop, what to obey, what to change, what to confront, what to surrender. And that is how people can stand close to a blessing and still miss it. The miracle is not missing. The problem is that the gate into it is often quiet, simple, and easy to dismiss. It may come as conviction. It may come as a check in your heart. It may come as a call to forgive, to give, to wait, to cut off a wrong habit, to walk away from a toxic deal, to stop chasing what looks fast and easy. Do not ignore that voice. Stay with me because this part can save you months or even years of pain. Most people do not understand how God works in time. We live by calendars, pressure, deadlines, bills, and visible facts. We wake up and judge a day by what we can touch, measure, and explain. If the sky looks the same, if the schedule looks the same, if the account looks the same, we assume nothing important is happening. But there are moments marked by heaven that do not announce themselves in the natural world. They arrive quietly. They look ordinary at first glance, yet in the spirit they carry unusual weight. God is a God of appointed times, set moments, and exact seasons. He is not random. He is not confused. He is not late. What feels delayed to you may actually be preparation happening with perfect accuracy. And if God can set the timing of nations, seasons, and promises with precision, then He is not careless about the timing of your answer. Some of you need to let that sink in. Your life is not a forgotten file on a desk in heaven. Your need has not escaped the eyes of God. Your pressure did not surprise Him. The burden you feel today was seen long before you ever felt it, and the answer was not created in panic after your struggle appeared. It was already in motion. Take that in, breathe in that truth, because if you really receive it, fear starts to lose its voice, and the lies that kept you awake at night begin to crack under the weight of God's faithfulness. Your miracle was not released after your crisis appeared. It was prepared before the crisis fully formed. That is how God works. Human systems react. God prepares. Human wisdom scrambles. God knows. Human strength gets overwhelmed by timing, lack, and uncertainty. God stands outside all of that and sees the beginning and the end at the same time. So when pressure hits your life and it feels sudden to you, it is not sudden to Him. When the need becomes real in your hands, it has already been known in heaven. The provision does not start at the moment of your panic. It begins in the wisdom of God long before your eyes can trace it. This is why you cannot measure divine movement only by what you see today. Silence does not mean heaven is inactive. Delay does not mean God has changed His mind. Closed doors do not always mean rejection. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes they are redirection. Sometimes they are part of the path that keeps your blessing clean, keeps your heart right, and keeps you from receiving something in a way that would damage your soul. Hear me clearly. By the time you feel surrounded, God has already been working from angles you do not know. By the time the pressure becomes heavy, help has already been set into motion. Do not click away from this thought. This is where many people lose heart. They read the silence wrong. They think nothing is happening. But the spirit realm does not need your eyes to confirm that it is moving. And now we come to the part that many people misunderstand. They hear the word warning and immediately think of punishment, shame, rejection, or failure. They feel fear when they should feel mercy. They feel dread when they should feel gratitude. But the warning of God is not the enemy of your miracle. It is often the road into it. It is not there to crush you. It is there to guard you, guide you, and align you. When God says stop, that can be mercy. When God says not yet, that can be protection. When God says release this, forgive this, let go of that, break agreement with this pattern, leave that compromise behind, that is not Him pushing you away. That is Him leading you safely toward what He has already prepared. Think about it. A warning light in a car is not your enemy. It is a sign trying to keep damage from becoming destruction. In the same way, divine warning is holy kindness. It is love speaking before pain becomes deeper. It is wisdom arriving before loss becomes final. And many people celebrate the promise but ignore the instruction, and later they wonder why what they shouted about never appeared in their hands. The warning was not against them. The warning was for them. It was the gate. It was the map. It was the narrow path hidden inside the wide excitement of a promise. Listen closely here, because this may be where your next step becomes clear. There are people who love hearing about abundance, favor, increase, open doors, and supernatural help. They feel faith rise when they hear that God can turn things around. And that part is true. But if the heart is only excited by the result and not surrendered to the process, it will stay immature even while speaking big words. The miracle is not magic. It is not a toy for restless hearts. It is part of a relationship. It flows with obedience, humility, trust, and spiritual sensitivity. That means the person who receives deeply is often the person who listens carefully, the one who takes the small instructions seriously, the one who does not despise the hidden preparation, the one who does not say, I want the blessing, but I will keep my habits, my pride, my bitterness, my compromise, my shortcuts, my secret disobedience. No. There are moments when God asks for a clean yes, a costly yes, a quiet yes, a yes that nobody claps for at first, and that yes becomes the turning point. Some of you already know what the warning has been in your life. You have felt it more than once. Stop delaying, stop calling it coincidence, stop pushing it aside because it feels uncomfortable. If this word is hitting your spirit, then lean in. This could be the exact adjustment that changes the next season of your life. Stay with me. We are getting to the part that breaks heavy chains in the mind. Another lie that keeps people far from their breakthrough is the belief that they must become perfect before they can receive what God has prepared. That lie sounds spiritual, but it is still a lie. It tells you to wait until you become a better version of yourself, a stronger believer, a cleaner person, a more disciplined soul, a flawless vessel. It tells you that maybe later, after enough improvement, after enough tears, after enough effort, then perhaps you will finally qualify. But that is not how grace works, and that is not how God deals with his children. If perfection were the requirement, no one would stand. No one. What God looks for is not perfection, but positioning. Is your face turned toward him? Is your heart open? Are your hands surrendered? Are you willing to obey what he is saying now? That matters. That matters greatly. A person can still be healing and yet be positioned. A person can still be growing and yet be ready. A person can still feel weak and yet walk in strong obedience. Do not disqualify yourself because you are still in process. Growth does not cancel access. Being refined does not mean being rejected. The enemy wants you stuck in endless self examination, so you never move in faith. But God is calling you to come as you are, in honesty, in humility, in trust, and to stand where His voice is leading you. That posture matters more than performance. That posture opens doors that human striving never could. Positioning looks simple, but it is powerful. It means turning your heart toward God again and again, even when your feelings are unstable. It means bringing your tired, imperfect, pressured self into His presence and saying, I am here. I do not have everything figured out. I do not feel strong every day. I do not always understand the timing, but I am here and I still trust you. That kind of posture breaks something in the realm of fear. It tells doubt that it no longer gets to rule the room. It tells the soul that surrender is stronger than panic, and it creates space for instruction, peace, and wisdom to land in a person's life. Some of you have been asking for provision, but God is also calling you into alignment. Some of you have been asking for money, but heaven has been dealing with your mindset, your speech, your private habits, your response to pressure, your relationship with generosity, your treatment of people, your secret agreements with fear. Because what God gives, He also wants you able to carry well. He does not only want to get something to you, He wants to build something in you. And that is not a delay tactic, that is love. Because a blessing received without wisdom can become a burden, but a blessing received in alignment becomes testimony. Watch this carefully. The inner shift often comes before the outer change. The spiritual adjustment often comes before the visible increase. Do not underestimate what God is doing inside you while you wait for what He is doing around you. There are also practical doors that open when faith becomes real. Real faith is not passive. It does not just speak in big phrases and then do nothing. It listens, it moves, it obeys, it becomes disciplined, it becomes alert. It stops wasting energy on what God has not assigned. It stops leaking strength through constant worry. It learns restraint. It learns courage. It becomes willing to make hard choices that produce clean fruit later. So, if a financial miracle is moving toward your life, ask yourself honestly, what must change in me so I can recognize it, receive it, and steward it? Do I need to stop calling every impulse an opportunity? Do I need to step away from foolish spending? Do I need to repair trust where I have handled money carelessly? Do I need to end a partnership that is pulling me into compromise? Do I need to become more faithful in small things? Do I need to stop speaking defeat over my future? These questions matter. They do not cancel faith, they mature it. Because the person who says God will provide but refuses wisdom is not walking in full agreement. And the person who receives instruction and applies it is already stepping through the gate many others keep walking past. Let this sit on you for a moment. Sometimes the miracle comes as sudden increase. Sometimes it comes as a door, a strategy, a release, a debt lifted, a connection, a new stream, a protected decision, a hidden danger avoided, a peace that keeps you from making an expensive mistake. All of that is God's hand. I need to say this with strength. Do not let fear interpret this season for you. Fear always speaks fast, loud, and dark. It tells you the clock has run out. It tells you others will move ahead while you stay stuck. It tells you you have missed your time, wasted too much, failed too much, prayed too long, hoped too many times. But fear is a poor prophet. It never tells the full truth. The truth is that God can restore years, redirect paths, rebuild confidence, and open doors that no human hand can shut. The truth is that what looks late in your eyes may still be right on time in His wisdom. The truth is that one act of obedience can break a long season of confusion. One surrendered decision can clear spiritual fog. One moment of holy courage can change the story. So do not let anxiety drive this next step. Let peace lead. Let truth lead. Let the Spirit lead. And if the warning in your heart has become clear, answer it quickly. Do not negotiate with what God has already made plain. Do not invite delay by entertaining what He told you to drop. There is too much at stake. Your next season deserves a cleaner yes than your last one gave. And if this is speaking directly to you, hold on, because the next part is where strength returns to tired hearts. What is coming may happen suddenly, but sudden things are often built by hidden preparation. That is why you cannot despise small obedience. You cannot laugh at quiet seasons. You cannot assume nothing is happening because the room is silent. Roots grow in silence. Strength grows in silence. Clarity grows in silence. And there are people listening right now who think they have been buried, when in truth they have been planted. There is a difference. Buried means forgotten. Planted means prepared for future life. If that touched your spirit, do not miss it. You are not abandoned. You are being readied. The pressure did not come to prove God absent. It came into a story where God was already moving. So lift your head, guard your mouth. Stop speaking like defeat is permanent. Stop saying nothing will ever change. Stop building agreement with darkness using your own words. Speak life. Speak trust. Speak with humility. Yes, but also with expectancy. Not fake excitement, not shallow noise. Real expectancy, the kind that says, I do not know every detail, but I know God is faithful. I know I must stay aligned. I know I must listen. I know I must not throw away this moment. There is a reason this word is pressing your spirit. There is a reason your heart has been stirred. Do not let this become another emotional moment you forget by tomorrow. Let it become a line in the sand. So here is the call: slow down and listen. Ask God plainly what the warning is, what the instruction is, what must be released, what must be corrected, what must be trusted, what must be done now. Then obey without drama, obey without delay, obey without needing applause. Because the person who learns to say yes in private will one day carry public testimony that leaves others speechless. The breakthrough is not only about money, it is about witness. It is about showing what God can do with a life that listens. It is about turning anxiety into trust, confusion into clarity, delay into timing, weakness into surrender, and surrender into visible fruit. This is your moment to become serious in spirit, clear in mind, and steady in heart. Not perfect, positioned, not loud, aligned, not rushed, ready. And when what has been moving finally reaches your hands, you will know it did not begin on the day you saw it. It began long before, in prayer, in hidden shaping, in quiet warnings, in small acts of obedience, in tears nobody saw, in trust when nothing made sense. Stay awake in this season. Stay soft before God. Stay willing to move when He speaks. And do not ignore the warning that may be protecting the very miracle you have been praying for. What is ahead is bigger than you think, closer than you think, and holier than you think. Hold your place. Keep your faith alive. Your next chapter may already be on the way.